Imagine for a moment that the world around you is not a fixed, unyielding thing, but liquid, malleable, a vast and shimmering reflection of something far more intimate. What if every circumstance, every encounter, every triumph or struggle was not random, but a whispered dialogue between the unseen depths of your being and the universe itself? This is the heart of the reality mirror effect, an ancient truth veiled in plain sight, waiting to be remembered. You have stood before mirrors your entire life, gazing at your own reflection, yet never truly seeing it. But what if I told you that reality itself is the most profound mirror of all? Not a passive glass, but a living, responsive intelligence echoing back to you, in perfect fidelity, the hidden architecture of your beliefs, your fears, your unspoken convictions about who you are and what is possible. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. And the moment this truth settles into your bones, the illusion of powerlessness dissolves like mist before the dawn. For centuries, the mystics, the sages, the alchemists of consciousness have spoken in riddles of this law, some calling it karma, others the law of attraction, still others the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. But stripped of dogma, it is simply this: your outer world is a projection of your inner world. Not as wishful thinking, not as metaphysical poetry, but as an immutable law of existence, as precise as gravity, as measurable as the tides. The poverty you resent, the love you crave, the success that eludes you, they are not accidents, they are reflections. And to change the reflection, you must first change the image cast upon the waters of reality. This is not about blind positivity or reciting empty affirmations. This is about alchemy, the sacred art of inner transformation. It is about recognizing that every limitation you perceive out there is first a whisper within. The mind, left unchecked, is a master of disguise, cloaking its own creations in the garments of fate, coincidence, or bad luck. But the moment you awaken to the mirror's secret, you become the sculptor of your destiny. So I invite you now to step beyond the surface, beyond the fleeting distractions of the external world, and into the silent chambers where reality is truly forged. For if you are ready, if you are willing to meet your own gaze in the cosmic mirror, nothing will ever be the same again. If these words stir something within you, if you feel the call to go deeper, then let this be the beginning. Like, comment, and subscribe if you wish to journey further into the mysteries of self-creation. To understand the reality mirror effect is to grasp the silent mechanics of existence itself, the hidden gears turning behind the veil of the visible. This is not philosophy in the abstract, it is the operating system of reality, as tangible as the weight of a stone in your palm. At its core are three immutable truths woven into the fabric of being long before the first civilizations etched them into temple walls. First, the mirror does not judge, it obeys. The universe is a perfect servant. It does not argue, it does not resist, it simply reflects. When you whisper to yourself, "I am unworthy," the mirror does not pause to question the statement. It bows and replies as you say. And so, unworthiness manifests not as punishment, but as perfect fidelity to your deepest command. The same is true of abundance, love, or freedom. The mirror is indifferent to what you project. It only knows to echo. This is why two souls can walk the same street. One sees opportunity, the other sees lack. Both are right. Both are met exactly where they stand. Second, the lag of manifestation is an illusion of the senses. We often mistake the delay between inner shift and outer change as proof that the mirror is broken. But consider, when you speak into a canyon, the echo does not return instantly. Yet you do not doubt the laws of sound. In the same way, the material world operates on a denser frequency, a slower vibration. Seeds do not sprout in the hour they are planted, yet the wise do not uproot them in despair. Your thoughts, your self-concept, your emotional currents, they are seeds. The harvest comes in its season, not in yours. The frustration you feel at nothing changing is often the final test before the mirror reveals its masterpiece. Third, the mirror reflects in symbols, not literal translations. The universe speaks in metaphor. A financial struggle may reflect a deeper poverty of self-worth. A turbulent relationship may mirror an inner war between love and fear. The external is never random. It is a poetic dialogue, a riddle waiting to be unraveled. The alchemists knew this well. Solve et coagula, dissolve the surface, meaning to uncover the gold beneath. When you learn to read the symbols, life ceases to be a series of random events and becomes a sacred text, written in the ink of your own consciousness. These are not theories. They are laws as real as the pulse in your wrist. And like any law, they require no belief to function. Gravity does not ask permission to pull the apple from the branch. So too does the mirror return to you, without fail, the essence of what you have claimed as true. The question then becomes, what have you been claiming without knowing it? Long before psychology named our patterns, before science quantified perception, the ancients encoded these truths in myth stories that bypass the rational mind to whisper directly to the soul. To grasp the reality mirror effect in its full depth, we must step into the realm of symbol, where the boundaries between inner and outer dissolve like mist at dawn. The Greeks told of a youth named Narcissus, so enchanted by his own reflection that he withered away, unable to tear himself from the illusion on the water's surface. We've misinterpreted this story as a warning against vanity, but the deeper teaching, what you worship in the mirror becomes your prison. Most people are not trapped by self-love, but by self-obsession, endlessly rearranging external circumstances while never questioning the eyes that perceive them. The pool did not create Narcissus's torment, it revealed it. And so with us. Our outer struggles are seldom about the circumstances themselves, but about the unrecognized parts of ourselves we've projected onto them. In hidden laboratories, medieval alchemists polished mercury to supernatural brilliance, believing these mirrors could reveal not just faces, but the soul's true form. The mercury mirror was no passive tool. It was a living boundary between worlds, where leaden consciousness could glimpse its golden potential. Here lies an esoteric truth. The moment you perceive the mirror's nature, you cease to be its prisoner and become its master. The financial struggle, the strained relationship, the creative block, these are your mercury mirrors, showing you not how life is, but how you've unconsciously shaped it. Eastern traditions speak of Maya not as illusion in the sense of nothing is real, but as the divine play of perception. The world is real, but our interpretation of it is a hall of mirrors, each surface bending light according to our inner distortions. A man who believes himself unlovable will experience rejection even in neutral gestures. A woman convinced of scarcity will find lack in abundance itself. Maya is not deception, it is the universe's perfect fidelity to the vibrations we emit. The veil lifts not by denying reality, but by recognizing which self has been authoring it. These stories are not antiquated curiosities, they are maps etched by those who walked this terrain before us. The symbols persist because the human soul still dreams in their language. When you stand before your own reflections, the recurring conflicts, the patterns that resist logic, you are not facing random misfortune. You are encountering mythic forces, the same ones that guided Odysseus past sirens and through underworlds. The difference? Your labyrinth is inner, your minotaur is the unexamined belief. And the golden thread that leads you home is the unshakable knowing. The mirror can only show you what you've first shown yourself. The greatest spiritual truths remain abstract until they bleed into the mundane, until you can trace their fingerprints on your morning coffee, your bank statements, the way your lover's eyes soften or harden when you speak. The reality mirror effect is not some distant cosmic principle. It lives in the weight of your footsteps as you walk to work, in the hesitation before you speak your truth, in the quiet victories and recurring frustrations that stitch together your days. To wield this knowing is to become a conscious artist of the ordinary, transforming each moment into a deliberate brushstroke on the canvas of your existence. Begin with this radical act. For 1 week, observe your life not as its protagonist, but as its scribe. When conflict arises, pause and ask, what hidden belief might this situation be mirroring back to me? The co-worker who dismisses your ideas may be reflecting your own unvoiced self-doubt. The financial stagnation could be the material echo of an ancestral story about money being dirty or scarce. This is not about blaming yourself. It's about recognizing patterns with the detached curiosity of a scientist studying a fascinating phenomenon. Carry a small notebook, not to record events, but to decipher their symbolic language. Over time, you'll begin to see the same themes emerging like musical motifs in a symphony, revealing the unconscious score you've been dancing to. Every word you speak aloud or whisper internally is a spell cast upon the mirror. Most people unknowingly reinforce their limitations through casual phrases. This always happens to me. I'm terrible with money. Love never works out. These are not observations, they are invocations. For the next 30 days, practice alchemical linguistics. Transform complaints into curious questions. Instead of "why does this keep happening?" ask, "what part of me keeps attracting this lesson?" Replace "I can't" with "I haven't yet." The mirror responds not to the content of your words, but to the vibrational signature behind them. Even if the new language feels unnatural at first, you're not lying, you're rehearsing a future self until it becomes present truth. Ancient mystics understood that rituals bridge the seen and unseen worlds. Create a simple evening practice, light a candle and review your day in reverse. As the flame flickers, ask, what did I project today? Fears? Confidence? Scarcity? Abundance? How did reality mirror it back? What would I like to project tomorrow? This is not journaling, it's active recalibration. The candle's light symbolizes your growing awareness, the fire that melts old forms to reveal new shapes. Over time, this practice will sharpen your perception until you catch yourself mid-projection, like an artist pausing to adjust a stroke before the brush meets canvas. The modern world demands proof before belief, but mystics know the inverse is true. You must become before you can see. If you wait to feel confident before speaking up, you'll stay silent forever. But if you speak up despite fear, the mirror has no choice but to reflect confidence back to you. This is the secret behind "fake it till you make it," a crude but accurate nod to an ancient principle. Dress as the person you're becoming, speak their words, walk their walk. The mirror doesn't care whether you really mean it, yet it only responds to the frequency you emit. Here lies the great paradox. Transformation requires disciplined practice, yet the moment it becomes struggle, you've fallen back into old patterns. The key is to approach these practices with the lightness of an experiment, rather than the grim determination of a soldier. When you catch yourself trying too hard, that's the mirror showing you where you still believe in force over flow. Ease is not laziness, it's alignment. These are not quick fixes. They are the slow, sacred work of bending reality's light with the prism of your awareness. Some days the mirror will seem cruel, reflecting back all the unhealed fragments you'd rather ignore. Other days it will surprise you with glimpses of a self you barely dared imagine. Both are grace. Both are the mirror doing its perfect work. There comes a moment in every alchemist's journey when the leaden weight of old realities begins to shimmer, not because the world has changed, but because the eyes perceiving it have been reforged. This is the true secret the mirror has been guarding all along. You are not the reflection, you are the light that casts it. The reality mirror effect is not a philosophy to be memorized, but a living current to be embodied. It asks you to stand naked before existence and recognize with terrifying tenderness that every limitation, every expansion, every heartbreak and ecstasy has been your own creation. This is not condemnation, it is the ultimate empowerment. For if you crafted these patterns unconsciously, what might you shape with conscious hands? I invite you to become a witness. For the next 7 days, live as though your entire life were an art installation titled The Sculpture of My Beliefs. Observe how your inner dialogues materialize as outer circumstances. Choose one mirror to polish. Select one recurring challenge, financial, relational, health, and approach it as sacred feedback. Ask, if this situation is a perfect reflection, what does it reveal about my hidden beliefs? Project deliberately. Each morning, stand before your bathroom mirror and declare one truth about your becoming, e.g., I am a conduit for divine abundance. Watch how reality contorts to meet your new vibration. The mystic Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." This is the final revelation of the mirror that the vastness you've sought in distant stars lives within the quiet spaces between your thoughts. The universe has never been separate from you. It has only ever been waiting for you to recognize yourself in its gaze. Now the choice is yours. Will you continue interpreting reflections as fate, or will you pick up the brush and begin painting with the pigments of your soul? If this journey has stirred something within you, share your revelations below. Your words become mirrors for others. Subscribe if you dare to go deeper into the mysteries of conscious creation. And remember, the next time you face what appears to be an immovable reality, smile. You're standing before your greatest masterpiece in progress. The mirror awaits your next move.